Good evening. It's Saturday, the 14th of December. It's just past 6 o'clock, and welcome to our evening news programme. And in the news this week, residents in Dorchester woke early this week to the news of a devastating fire in South Street. The fire broke out in the early hours of the 8th of December in the Gorge Cafe in the town centre. Fire crews from around Dorchester were alerted to the blaze at 3:34 a.m. The fire service sent crews from Dorchester, Weymouth, Portland, Wareham, Bedminster, Blandford, Charmouth and Poole, together with an aerial ladder platform from Yeovil and a support appliance from Hamworthy, plus water carriers from Bridport and Yeovil. Approximately 50 firefighters were on scene dealing with the incident. The building partially collapsed and there is significant smoke in the local area. Also, there was significant smoke in the local area, and the fire also affected a number of adjacent properties via the roof spaces. No injuries were reported, but a number of local residents were moved away to a safe place. Now, Wyke, the charity, has launched a brand new ride out to bring festive cheer to children and young people at Dorset County Hospital this Christmas. Wyke's Santa Toy Run will take place on Sunday the 22nd of December and calls on big-hearted bikers to donate an unwrapped gift which can be given to young patients staying in Kingfisher Ward at Dorset County Hospital to open on Christmas Day. Kingfisher Ward is Dorset County Hospital's ward for children and young people aged 0 to 17 and provides a friendly, safe and welcoming environment for young patients being cared for at the hospital. Staff at Kingfisher Ward adopt a philosophy of family-centred care, with each child and young person being cared for as an individual as well as being part of a family. For many, Christmas represents a special time of the year to come together with family and friends, but sadly due to illness or injury there will be children and young people who will be unable to spend Christmas at home with their family. Wyke's Santa Toy Run aims to bring joy to young patients during this difficult time with a special gift powered by the generosity of the public. To get into the festive spirit, bikers are encouraged to don their best Christmas fancy dress outfits for the special 35-mile ride out, which starts at the Churchill Arms in Alderholt. Refreshments will be available to purchase at the starting point from 10 a.m, with all participants needing to sign in by 11:15. The Santa Toy Run will set off from the Churchill Arms at 11:30 and bikers will be warmly welcomed at Dorset County Hospital, where they will hand over their generously donated gifts to staff at Kingfisher Ward. Registration for Wyke's Santa Toy Run is free. However, any donations made while registering to help towards the charity's operational costs would be much appreciated. More information about Wyke and links to booking for the event are available on www.docbike.org. Now, targeted youth teams are out in towns across Dorset this winter, making sure that young people have the opportunity to talk to them about issues that impact them and things that might be worrying them. The targeted youth teams will be easily recognisable as they'll be wearing fluorescent yellow Dorset Council backpacks, and you can see a picture of one on the screen there, when working within the community and will be wearing their ID badges. The aim of the targeted youth workers is to engage with young people in places and spaces they spend their time in, to build relationships and seek understanding of their views. They provide support and guide them to additional resources where necessary, collaborating closely with partner organisations. The Targeted Youth Service says, "We all have a responsibility to keep our young people safe. You may see, hear or experience things to do with young people in your local area, and if something does not feel right or you have concerns, then please tell us about it." If you'd like to share some information with the teams, then search on Google for Dorset Council Locality Teams. That will take you to a map. You can click on your area of Dorset and then it will open up the contact details for your locality team. If you're worried about the safety or well-being of a child or young person, you can contact the Family Support and Advice line, also on 01305 22 8866. And of course, if you feel a child is in danger at any time, then you should call the police immediately on 999. Now, instead of plugging in headphones or burying heads in books while travelling on public transport, residents in the southwest are actually striking up conversations with strangers as new research shows a quarter, actually about 23% to be precise, have made long-lasting friendships with people they have met on the bus. The newly commissioned research by First Bus, one of the UK's largest bus operators, reveals that the bus is a place where chance encounters evolve into lasting friendships, with 1 in 5 people of those in the southwest stating they often meet new people on the bus. Actually, it's 23%, and we're one of the highest ratios in the country. It's clear that small talk on public transport helps strengthen community ties in the southwest, as nearly 4 in 5 people agree that it's important in supporting community connections, and 44% believe the bus is a vital service in their community. Also, when asked how they feel if the bus was no longer available for them to use in the southwest, over a third reveal they would experience feelings of isolation. To celebrate the role the bus plays in connecting communities through conversations, TV personality and Bristolian Josie Gibson joined First Bus on a tour of her local area, reminiscing on how the bus played a key role in keeping her connected to her community. And as part of her work for First Bus, Josie helped share the stories of resilience, dedication and community spirit of just a few everyday heroes, showing how the bus brings people together. So it's good to travel on the bus. You meet people and you can establish lasting friendships. That's what the research is showing. Now, a pair of illegal pet breeders and sellers who made over $34,000 were sentenced in court last week following an investigation by Dorset Council's Animal Welfare Team and Dorset Police. Ebony Membry, who was 25, and her father, Michael Membry, who was 58, of Dorchester, were prosecuted for the unlicensed breeding and advertising and selling of dogs, and also the sale of puppies and kittens as pets for profit. The unlicensed activity started in 2019 with puppies purchased from breeders in different parts of the UK and selling them for profit. From 2021, the defendants bred dogs at the family home as well as sourced kittens from a relative's farm, which were then advertised for sale online. After multiple complaints and reports about the activities of the family, officers discovered multiple things. They discovered 2 puppy litters of cockapoos and dachshunds, 10 other dogs and a variety of breeds housed in very small confined space in a cupboard under the stairs, a dog wearing an anti-barking vibrating collar, which had caused injuries to its neck, and documents associated with pet sales referring to dogs' names, breeding notes, customer details and deposits paid, pedigree information and vaccination records, and large quantities of cash suspected to be profit from the illegal activity. An improvement notice was served immediately, requiring steps to be taken to ensure the animals' welfare needs would be met. Fortunately, all the steps were taken and therefore no welfare offences were brought to the court. Between them, it looked as if around £100,000 was taken from the illegal activities. Dorset Council took the case to Weymouth Magistrates Court in October, with both defendants pleading guilty to offences under Section 13 of the Animal Welfare Act 2006, and sentencing on Thursday the 5th of December, the court disqualified them from dealing in cats and dogs for 5 years, ordering them to pay combined court costs of just under £9,000 and a victim surcharge of £114 each. Mr. Membry was also given a community order with an electronic monitoring for 4 months, curfew requiring him to be home between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. 7 days a week, and was also charged £120 for money laundering offences and a forfeiture of £2,330 plus interest. Ms. Membry was given a 21-month community order with 150 hours of community service. So there we go. That's illegal pet breeders in Dorchester. Professionals from across Dorset have come together for the Finding Our Girls conference organised by the Pineapple Project and the Dorset Safeguarding Children's Partnership to gain insights and tools to address violence against women and girls. Run by Dorset Council in partnership with the police and the local community, the Pineapple Project works to protect young women in Dorset's communities from harm. The event aimed to inspire and equip attendees to recognise and challenge harmful behaviours, encouraging a united approach to tackling this important issue. Held on the 25th of November, the event took place on White Ribbon Day, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and the start of 16 days of action to raise awareness of domestic violence and violence against women and girls. Representatives from education, health, police, community safety and social care illustrated how their agencies interacted with the girls at various stages of disrupted childhood and adolescence. Delegates were invited to share their reflections and insights through interactive polls, fostering meaningful dialogue and offering a real-world context to the challenges discussed. Attendees praised the conference for its thought-provoking content and the way it brought professionals from different backgrounds together to address violence against women and girls. Now, if you want more information on the Pineapple Project's ongoing efforts to tackle violence against women and girls in Dorset, search for Dorset Council Pineapple Project on Google. That's Dorset Council Pineapple Project. Now, Dorset Police is supporting Action Fraud's 12 Frauds of Christmas campaign for residents to have a fraud-free Christmas. When celebrating this festive season, people are being encouraged to have a fraud-free Christmas and stay alert to fraudsters taking advantage of the time of year, as Action Fraud revealed the 12 Frauds of Christmas. Action Fraud, the National Fraud and Cybercrime Reporting Service, has launched this Christmas campaign, revealing the typical types of fraud to look out for through the festive season. People are being encouraged to stay extra vigilant both online and in person, as criminals will be seeking to take advantage of people at this time of year. Now, what are the 12 frauds of Christmas? Phishing, pet fraud, online shopping fraud, social media and email account hacking, courier fraud, romance fraud, gift card fraud, charity fraud, investment fraud, QR code fraud, holiday fraud, and ticket fraud. Those are the 12 frauds of Christmas. You can see there's lots of different ways that people are trying to actually fraudulently get money out of you. Now, if you've lost money or provided your financial information to someone, notify your bank immediately and report it to Action Fraud, either online at actionfraud.police.uk or by calling 0300 123 2040. That's 0300 123 2040. Now, staying with Dorset Police, a man has been charged following an investigation by detectives into a report of a serious assault in Weymouth, with officers continuing to appeal for witnesses to come forward. Dorset Police received a report at 8:12 p.m. on Tuesday the 10th of December of an assault in Abbotsbury Road. Officers attended with the ambulance service. The victim, a man aged in his 70s, was taken to hospital for treatment to his head and with facial injuries. He remains in hospital in a serious condition. His family has been informed and is being kept updated by officers on developments in the investigation. Following fast-time inquiries at the scene, a 19-year-old man from Weymouth was arrested. He is now being charged with attempted murder, criminal damage and assaulting an emergency worker, and is due to appear in Poole Magistrates in the next few days. Also from Dorset Police this week, detectives are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information to come forward after an alleged robbery in Weymouth with one man arrested. Dorset Police received a report at 6:26 a.m. on Wednesday the 11th of December of a robbery at the Morrison's Daily Store at the Littlemore Shopping Centre. It was reported that a member of staff sustained a minor injury during the incident. Officers attended and carried out detailed inquiries, including searches in the area, CCTV inquiries and examination of the scene. A suspected air weapon was located at the scene of the offence. Following inquiries, a 27-year-old man from Weymouth was arrested on suspicion of robbery and possessing a firearm. He has been released on police bail while inquiries continue. Now, if you know anything about these incidents or any other crimes, do contact Dorset Police by calling 101. And if you wish to give information anonymously, you can do this via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Now to rubbish collections this Christmas time and New Year. As well as your collection date changing over the Christmas period, the crews might pick up your waste at a different time of the day than usual. Therefore, Dorset Council are asking that you put your containers out on the correct day and by 6 a.m. in the morning to ensure a collection. So probably you're going to be putting them out the night before. Also note there are no garden waste collections during Wednesday the 25th of December and Tuesday the 7th of January. If you have extra recycling that won't fit in your bin, you can put this in a sturdy box. It says not a bag, so a sturdy box that can be lifted by one person and put it by the side of your recycle bin. Please put paper, card and cartons in your bin to assure that it doesn't get wet and of course doesn't blow off down the road. You could also put out 2 extra sacks of black bin rubbish on your first scheduled rubbish collection after Christmas. Now, to help you know the changing collection days over the Christmas and New Year period, we posted the dates on the Wyke Regis TV Facebook page. So if you go to the Wyke Regis TV Facebook page, you'll find the table that's on the screen now and a link to the council website where you can get all the details on rubbish collections over Christmas and throughout the year. Now, one of the garden centres, which forms the Gardens Group, Poundbury Gardens, has won 3rd prize in the local garden centre category of the National Christmas Competition run by the Garden Centre Association. The other 2 centres in the group, Castle Gardens in Sherborne and Brinsmore Gardens in Yeovil, have won 1st and 2nd prizes respectively. Castle Gardens came 1st in the garden centre category for the 12th time. That's amazing, isn't it? 12th time they've won the national competition. General ambience, creativity, range, flow and tidiness were among the areas scored during the judges' process, which took place in November. Curated by the Gardens Group Director Louise Burks, the Magical Winter Wonderlands continue to feature more eco-friendly initiatives and products. Throughout the planet-friendly displays, repurposed and recycled materials have been used to build walkways, while glass baubles, twinkly LED lights, recycled candles and plastic-free toys were used to create scenes from the Nutcracker, Star Wars and fairy tales. The Gardeners Group Christmas displays are open to the public 7 days a week until Christmas Eve at Brinsmore Gardens in Yeovil, Castle Gardens in Sherborne and Poundbury Gardens near Dorchester. So if you fancy a little trip out, the garden centres are always a good place to go, and you can get a nice coffee and a piece of cake or something more substantial while you're there if you want to. Now, the first business... Whoops, where's the picture gone? Here we go. The first business has collected the keys and moved into Dorset's newest industrial unit's development. Winfrith-based Brit Lift is the first tenant to move onto the brand new Quadrant 2 development of 6 units at Dorset Innovation Park. The new development was completed under budget and ahead of schedule as part of Dorset Council's investment into the park. Brit Lift specialises in the design, manufacture and supply of lifting equipment and have had a base on the Innovation Park for the past 7 years. The move will double the space for the company's growing team and increase capability for Brit Lift to deliver major projects. The council's vision for the Dorset Innovation Park, and just to tell you where that is, it's the old Atomic Energy Authority site at Winfrith, is to become a leading centre for business work on global challenges in areas such as national security, energy resilience and environmental protection. Dorset Innovation Park hosts 2 world leaders in defence technology, Atlas Electronic UK and Kinetic, plus the Ministry of Defence, which has a presence at the Defence Battle Lab situated on the site. More than 800 people are employed on the park. As the county's only economic development site with enterprise zone status, the park benefits from business rate discounts, among other incentives to stimulate growth in the area. Now, if you want more information on that, on available units and leasing, you can call the right people on 01202 661177. That's 01202 661177. And the company you will get through to is Sibbett Gregory, who are managing the leasing of those units and marketing of those units. Now, check before you travel, as Great Western Railway starts a new winter timetable from tomorrow, that's Sunday. If you intend to travel, you are told by GWR to double-check your journey to avoid being caught out and having to wait for the next train. Recognising changes in customer demand, the train operator is also increasing the number of carriages on some early Sunday morning trains on key routes. 9 or 10 carriage trains will be replaced by 5 carriage trains, effectively doubling the number of seats available on on some services from Cheltenham to London Paddington and from Great Malvern to London Paddington. Services on the line that runs between Bristol and Weymouth will also see some Sunday improvements to journey times. Departing some trains a little earlier has enabled GWR to reduce total journey times by as much as 7 minutes on the route. 17 minutes, not 7 minutes, 17 minutes on the route. Some further small-scale changes have also been promised by the operator to free up more seats on long-distance trains. The new timetable starts this Sunday, 15th of December, and for Sunday services, and from Monday the 16th of December for weekday services. So just search for GWR timetable and check before you start travelling after tomorrow. Now, in the new year, Weymouth Town Council will advertise an existing opportunity for new tenants to run its 2 beachside catering units. The council's Environment and Services Committee agreed on Wednesday this week that the 2 kiosks that the council currently runs profitably will be put out to tender for new tenants to take them on, ensuring best value is secured for the 2 assets. They include the Prom Cafe on the Esplanade and the Beach Cafe at Brunswick Terrace, which have both been modernised since the council took them on in 2021. Councillor Matt Bell, chair of the Environment and Services Committee, said Weymouth Town Council has reviewed its catering service and decided to put its 2 profitable beachside kiosks out to tender in 2025. This activity will ensure we are using our assets to maintain the highest level of possible income in order to continue maintaining the services we deliver whilst moving forward with the council's refreshed corporate plan and aspirations for Weymouth. Now, further details of the tender process will be available at the start of the new year. And finally, in the headlines tonight, people in local communities can get the latest information from the public, private and voluntary and community sectors following the launch of a newly refreshed online directory. Dorset Council has been working with Help and Kindness on the updated directory, which includes information on carer support, climate emergency, community resources, emergency and crisis support, and health and well-being. The directory contains tabs linking to advice and guidance on financial support and advice, food and eating well, support after leaving hospital and living at home. Also, physical activities and sport, and social activities and events. The directory has improved navigation as well as new content with information from a range of providers across Dorset. Now, the page can be found at www.helpandkindness.co.uk/community-directory. Now, it's worth recording this. I had a look at it earlier, and it really is a hub of information and is signpost you through to lots of information and support that you can get from other organisations across Dorset. So it's www.helpandkindness.co.uk/community-directory. And that's the end of the headlines in tonight's programme. It's now time in tonight's programme to go over to Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend, the Marvel Comics film Kraven the Hunter is released in cinemas. The film is the 6th film in Sony's Spider-Man universe and stars Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Sergei Kravenov, a big game hunter who has a complex relationship with his father, which sets him on a path of vengeance and motivates him to become the greatest and most feared hunter. The film also stars Ariana DeBose and Russell Crowe. The film is connected to Spider-Man. There's many Spider-Man related characters from the comics, including famous Spider-Man villains such as Kraven, Calypso, Chameleon, Rhino. Like those previously saw Rhino was played by Paul Giamatti in Amazing Spider-Man 2. So far, the film has pretty overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics. but I believe I have seen praise for Taylor Johnson's performance as well as the action scenes, but the film has got pretty much a lot of negative reviews, and it's currently expected to be the final film in Sony's Spider-Man universe for now, due to the commercial failures of previous films such as Morbius and Madam Web, as well as the critical failures of all the films, including the Venom films, even though the Venom films are liked by the fans. So Kraven the Hunter is in cinemas this weekend. Also released this weekend is The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, an anime adaptation of the appendices of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings books. The film is set 183 years before the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings films and revolves around Helm Hammerhead, a legendary king of Rohan and namesake of the stronghold Helm's Deep, as him and his family defend their kingdom against an army of Dungerlings, I think. The English dub stars Brian Cox as Helm and Miranda Otto as Owen, a future shield maiden of Rohan, reprising her role from The Two Towers and Return of the King. The film, what makes this an anime film is that it has Japanese production elements and is directed by Kenshi Kamiyama, who previously directed the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex anime. And the production company which worked on this film also worked on anime adaptations of Korean manhwa, Tower of God and the God of High School. So it's Japanese, but they choose to put the English side of it, the American side of it first. This film so far has pretty mixed reviews, about pretty much almost a 50-50 shot down the middle, leaning towards positive, but you can view it knowing it is an hour shorter than any of the Lord of the Rings films. It's just over 2 hours. So Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim is in cinemas this weekend. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week, where I'll be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Mufasa the Lion King, and Joker Folie à Deux. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much there, Andrew. We'll be back with Andrew next week just to hear what's happening around about the Christmas holiday time. It's now time in the programme to go over to the Met Office for the weekend evening weather forecast.
Hello there, welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office. Well, after some spells of sunshine for some of us on Saturday, it's returned to the rather grey and gloomy skies on Sunday. Keep an eye on this weather front as well. It becomes quite slow moving across parts of Scotland during the next few days, bringing some very wet weather here, before it turns much more widely unsettled as we approach the middle part of next week, with maybe some wet and windy weather for most of us. Back to the here and now. We have some clear skies down towards East Anglia and the southeast of England, but the cloud and rain further west will spread across all parts during the course of the night. Very little rainfall actually for eastern areas, with most of the rain really reserved across the west, especially for western parts of Scotland. Rather damp night to come here, but a mild one for most of us, especially out towards the west here. Temperatures not falling much lower than 10 or 11 degrees. So Sunday starts off rather grey. We may well see a few glimmers of sunshine in the east, especially for parts of eastern Scotland, East Anglia and the far southeast. But even here, sunshine is going to be at a premium. The further west you are, the greater chance of seeing some spots of rain, especially across the high ground, across Wales, southwest England, Northern Ireland, but more specifically across parts of western Scotland. This rain will turn increasingly heavy and persistent as the day goes on, accompanied by a strengthening wind, so turning quite miserable here as the afternoon moves in. But for all of us, a much milder feeling day compared to of late. We could see highs reaching around 12 or 13 degrees in a few spots. Moving into the evening, and that rain just continues to pile in across western Scotland. Warnings do come into force during the course of Sunday evening and continuing right throughout Monday and into Tuesday. So if you do have plans in this part of the world over the next few days, do stay aware and keep up to date with the latest warnings on our website. To the south of this rain band, a fairly quiet night to come, a few clear skies around, but for most of us it's going to be a rather grey night, but that will help keep things on the rather mild side. I think at worst we'll probably see temperatures not much lower than around 7 or 8 degrees. So a mild start to the new working week, but a wet one for parts of Scotland, and really this rain band just does not move at all throughout the course of the day. To the south of it, a little bit more in the way of breeze coming during the course of the day, so that hopefully will start to break up some of the clouds, so maybe more of us seeing some sunshine during the course of the day. A few showers around, but for a lot of England and Wales and for parts of Northern Ireland, a rather dry start to the week, but as I mentioned, that rain just continuing right throughout the day across parts of Scotland. For most of us, another mild one could see highs once again reaching 12 or 13 degrees, especially if we do see any sunshine. Well, if you want the weather information where you are over the next couple of days, you can always check out our app or our website. But from me for now, take care, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much, Craig, for the weekend weather forecast. And let's just see what the weather holds for us this coming week. Looks like very changeable. Showery, sunny spells, maybe some heavy showers, but very, very mild again, getting warmer again after today. So there we go. That's the weather this week as we come towards Christmas. Doesn't look like we're up for a white Christmas this year. Turning to the what's on. First of all, Weymouth Pavilion. Of course, it's Christmas pantomime season. Oh no, it isn't. Oh yes, it is. With the Christmas pantomime running from the 20th of December through to the 5th of January. And this year it is Peter Pan. Also on the 20th of December, Ben Waters and Friends Charity Night. The 8th of January, Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra New Year Viennese Gala. 11th of January, Thanks for the Music, an ABBA tribute. 17th of January, tribute to the Pet Shop Boys. And 19th of January, comedian Ed Byrne. Lots of other things coming up at the Pavilion. Do take a look at their website, weymouthpavilion.com. And inquiries to the box office can be made on 01305 783 225. And there's all the information on there for all the things they've got coming up next year. And I have to say, it is really a packed programme, as ever, at Weymouth Pavilion. It must be really difficult. Must be a team of people working to bring all these shows to Weymouth. So well done to them. At the Knowth Fort, the only thing coming up at the Knowth Fort is the Victorian weekend, which is running this weekend. It's been on today and it is on again tomorrow. And then there's a quiet period at the Knowth Fort. So pop along tomorrow if you've got a free day to the Knowth Fort for their Victorian weekend. Now, the Polar Express on the Swanage Railway is still running, and that runs all the way through to Christmas Eve. And that's basically a themed railway journey of about an hour and a half with characters on the train. You can book that through their website. So just search for Swanage Railway. Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol by David Min through Arts Reach is still running, with the last show on that tomorrow at Burton Bradstock at 7:30. Pop along to Arts Reach website, just search for Arts Reach to get details on that and to see if there are any tickets left. You can obviously also see what's coming up on Arts Reach in the new year and at the start of next year, 2025. Finally, turning to church services in Wyke Regis this weekend. 8 o'clock communion at All Saints Church tomorrow, 9:30 communion at All Saints Church, and 11 o'clock communion at St Edmunds, Weymouth. Also to say, next Sunday at All Saints Church, I think it's at 6:30, is the 9 lessons and carols traditional Christmas carol service with readings. That's next Sunday at All Saints Church at 6:30. Of course, our other programme tonight, our Saturday evening quiz, will be on at 7:30 tonight. That is free, it's family friendly, and all are welcome to join us. The streams will go live about 7:20 so that people can connect up and be sitting comfortably for a prompt 7:30 start. Now, it just remains for me to say, if you have any news stories, any events coming up, or anything to share about the Christmas season with the people of Wyke Regis, Weymouth, South Dorset and beyond, do drop us a line to news@wykeregis.tv. We would love to hear from you. Failing that, we will be back here next Saturday at 6 o'clock we hope you have a good weekend. We hope the weekend is good for you. Maybe you're doing some final preparations with Christmas and some Christmas shopping and presents. But we will be back here next Saturday, and we will look forward to you joining us then. Good night.